Y'all, what's poppin'? It's your boy JP. I got another one for y'all today. We're gonna be tapping in with why 50 Cent hates his son. Now, we all know one thing. For some years, there's been a lot of back and forth between him and his oldest son. Now, one thing about Fifth, he always gonna keep it a buck. He ain't gonna shy away from it. He gonna make it public every time. Let the world know his relationship with his oldest son, which the crazy part about it, that's really his twin. He look 100% like him. So it's kind of sad that they don't really got a relationship, but he don't mess with his son's mother either. You know, they already did a lot of things over the years that he feel like, you know what I'm saying, he just gotta cut their water off. He don't gotta mess with them forever type shit, you feel me? And then recently we just got the whole $6,700 stuff that went viral. Maybe what, like 2 weeks ago or a week ago, where his son was pretty much saying the amount of money that his dad was giving him, and he couldn't pretty much live off that. So we're gonna jump right in there. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on so you know anytime I post a video. And let me know what you think about this whole situation. You feel me? A whole father not messing with his son over, you know, stuff that didn't happen in the past. But let's get it. Let's jump in it. Let's see what's going on.
50 Cent and his son Marquise have had a very public beef for the past few years.
That's a fact.
He went as far as saying he wouldn't have a bad day if his own child got hit by a bus. 50 posted this bold comment under a photo of Marquise and Kyle McGriff. But when you learn who Kyle is, you might not be surprised about 50's reaction. Kyle McGriff is the son of the infamous kingpin Kenneth Supreme McGriff, who is currently serving a life sentence in federal prison for a long list of crimes. One of those being the attack on 50 Cent, which led him to being shot 9 times. So when 50 sees a photo of his son, with the son of the man that tried to take his life away, he felt no remorse. Posting up with McGriff in that photo was a huge sign of disrespect from Marquise. Still, most people saw 50's comment as disrespectful and unimaginable, something they would never say to their own kid, no matter what. He took to Twitter to respond. I mean,
one thing I could honestly say, the way 50 Cent moves, you could tell he's big on loyalty, you feel me? And then for years, he's been coming at the whole Supreme umbrella. If you look at it, with Gotti and them, Murder Inc., Ja Rule, he ain't tried to, he damn near tear that whole label down, you feel me? So he's big on loyalty. So when he see his son do stuff like that, it's probably like making the situation even worse. Where in reality, if we look at it, Supreme son don't got nothing to do with the beef between 50 and his father, just how his son doesn't. But you know, it is what it is.
Ill will towards anyone living on this earth. The people Shaniqua's son looks up to and associates with is a reflection of the negative energy he embraces towards me. I paid his mother $1,360,000 in support to afford him opportunities I never had.
That's a lot
Most
of money
people look
right
at this
there.
and think, well, $1.3 million is plenty. I could make that work. However, his ex Shaniqua Tompkins sued him for $50 million, but not for child support, for allegedly burning down their house in May of 2008. He tried to kill me and his own child, said Shaniqua Tompkins, who miraculously survived the suspicious 4 a.m. blaze, which leveled the $2.4 million mansion in Tony Dix Hills, where she lives with the rapper's 10-year-old son Marquise and 4 relatives. She goes on to say that 50 threatened me on Monday that he was going to have someone visit me. Even the local fire chief, Larry Feld, knew something about the situation was weird when he said the fire was definitely suspicious because of the volume of the fire and how fast it spread. Now, this is an extreme accusation and seems unlikely that 50 would burn his own house down just so his ex couldn't have it. Ultimately, the lawsuit never went to trial, and we got to hear 50's side of the story months later. The courts told her she had to leave, 50 said. It's kind of more like, if I can't have you, you can't have it. So you figure she lit it up? The interviewer asked. Well, I don't want to say that. Don't try to make me say something I don't want to say, 50 Cent replied. But the circumstances to it...
Yo, that's how they try to get you feel me?
50 says his ex burned the house down. Shaniqua said that he did it. The mystery looms still to this day. But 5 years later, we would get a glimpse.
I mean, my thing, I know 50 Cent is a wild boy, you feel me? And one thing, he's definitely still involved with people in the streets, and I know he got a lot to say so, but in a way, to look at it like a father will burn down a house where his son is there, 10-year-old son too. I'm pretty sure at this time that their beef is probably not that crazy, but I don't know. I couldn't see a father do all that, like to go to that extreme.
How bad 50's temper actually is when a series of shocking text messages with his son were released. Hey, I'm outside the house at the front door. I came to the front door, the lights went off. You lying, you outside? You fronting. I saw you looking out the window. Good luck in life. You're gonna need it. LOL, you front and hard body now. How you going to see me when I'm in the basement, LMAO? F*** you. You are your mother's child. LOL, why would you lie about that? I need a blood test, cause that dick-sucking bitch you call mom was fucking the whole time. It's cool, I will never go out my way again. You disrespectful little motherfucker. LOL, you never do. I don't know not father that doesn't even call their son for his birthday, or get him a gift for his B-day or for Christmas. You are your mother's child. I don't have a son anymore. To no surprise, people were mortified at these messages, confused how a father could speak like that to his 16-year-old son. How did it get this bad? It seems like 50 went out of his way to go visit Marquise, then Marquise didn't come to the door for some reason. Seems like an odd situation, and possibly an overreaction, but we never got any more details from it. However, Shaniqua went to the press a year later and said that 50 hasn't seen his teenage son in 2 years. 50 also didn't go to Marquise's high school graduation in May of 2014. Apparently he wouldn't even call on his birthdays. This became a reoccurring theme.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie, that kind of is like a little wild, you feel me? Just as a father, man, even though I know it's probably the problems is with him and the BM, but it's kind of like, yeah, as a son, you always gonna stick to your mother's side, whether she's right or wrong. And I'm pretty sure at the time he probably didn't know what was really going on. If you with your mother all day, you only gonna take what she tells you. You feel me? What you never with your father to even hear his side of the story. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things that probably transpire behind the scenes that he don't know about. But then to not see your son graduate, to just cut him off completely, that's kind of like, man.
Would go to the press and publicly air out their relationship issues. 50 claims she is crazy, bitter,
and I feel like that's what it is. She was probably making it worse for her son.
Just because they have a kid together. But the caveat to all of this is that 50 was contributing money to her and Marquise. A lot. $1.3 million in child support.
That's a lot of money,
an insane amount of money, which ended up being around $6,700 per month. But Marquise says it wasn't enough.
It's $6,700 a month.
Okay.
That's not, in my eye, it's not a lot of money. I've seen a lot of money. That's not a lot of money.
Now, New York City is the most expensive city in the world. So let's do some quick math. In New York City, a child is entitled to be supported by their parents until the age of 21.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I thought it was 18.
Split up in 2008. Marquise turned 21 in 2019. So 50 would legally have to pay support for 11 years. 50 said it was $1,360,000. So that would actually be $10,303 per month. But Marquise said it was just $6,700, which is a huge difference. Kind of weird, I don't understand the discrepancy, but let's just go with $6,700. The average cost of rent in New York City in 2009 was $2,400, and in 2019 was $3,200. Let's just call it $3,000 rent for a 2-bedroom apartment. For cost of living, we can go $300 for utilities, $150 for internet, $750 for car payment and insurance. You can also just ride the subway, that's $129 per month for an unlimited Metro
yeah, you
card,
really breaking the whole thing down.
$1,000 for food, I don't know, $700 for clothes. We just got up to $6,000. And as you can see, I overestimated on all these expenses, and $6,700 is still enough money. And that's not even including another potential $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 per month that Marquise's mother could be contributing. I think we can all agree $6,700 is plenty. But Marquise didn't exactly say it wasn't enough money, it just wasn't enough for the lifestyle he expected to have.
You see, now this is the thing too, like when it comes to the whole $6,700, bro, I feel like that is a lot of money. $6,700 for what? Future's paying like $2,000 for one of his kids or whatever. But $6,700, bro, in New York is still a lot of money. The thing is, cause I did hear the situation where he said somebody exposed it where his father was, where 50 Cent was actually paying $25,000 a month, and then she thought that wasn't enough, and he took her to court, and then it ended up coming to the whole $6,700. But bro, you gotta look at it like this. You could go with $6,700, bro. You could go to anywhere in Connecticut, New Jersey, upstate New York, Long Island, or whatever the hell, you know what I'm saying, somewhere suburbed out, and pay a mortgage. You could buy a house and pay a mortgage that's gonna be way less than $6,700 if that was the case. You feel me? What it was, I think she was probably looking at it from the perspective as, oh, we gonna live, all of us, off this $6,700. Nah, that's just the contribution that 50 Cent is making for his son. You feel me? You gotta put up some bread too. Like, she was probably trying to live her life, her luxury life, and do it up. and everybody getting supported by 50 Cent. I think that's what she messed up at. You feel me? Because $6,700 for one parent to give one kid, that's more than a lot.
Raise a celebrity A-list child.
I paid $350,000.
Your child is not me.
Brother.
Your child is not me. Your child never been on a private jet before. Your child don't get fly like me.
Marquise thinks that since he is the son of a rap
superstar,
that he deserves a certain lifestyle. He says he has been in 13-bedroom mansions, flown private jets, traveled around the world. Why should he have to go back to living an average
like
lifestyle?
Mayweather.
Most people are calling him spoiled, entitled, but Marquise denies that.
So when he paints this entitlement shit out in the public, he's entitled. Bro, I could have went to school and flunked out 5-10 years, and I didn't, because I'm not entitled and I do not care about no bread, bro. And if I really care about some bread, I'll be kissing his ass.
Based on Marquise feeling like he needs to live a certain lifestyle, being the son of an A-list celebrity is literally the definition of entitlement, which is believing oneself to be inherently deserving of privileges.
The fact he's super entitled, he's just delusional about it.
Entitlement creates resentment. If Marquise asked for a pair of Jordans on Monday, his mother would make sure they were on his feet by Tuesday. It still didn't make him happy. Instead of being excited to rock his new pair of Jordans, all Marquise could think about was all of the retro Jordans he didn't have, all the different flyaways and colors that weren't in his closet. When he should have felt gratification, all he really felt was disappointment.
50 wanted his son to work for his own money, not just live off of his father.
My issue with Marquise wasn't that he wanted all those sneakers. When I was a kid, I wanted sneakers too. The difference is that I was willing, make that determined, to do the work necessary to obtain them. I wouldn't for a second want Marquise to have to resort to the type of work I put in to get my kicks. At the time, I perceived selling drugs as the only viable option in my environment, so I pursued it. Marquise has so many more options in front of him than I ever had. I just needed to see him pick one and put in the work.
The saddest part about this back and forth is that it seems to have done damage beyond repair for the two.
Yo, just the fact that 50 Cent is your father, should even be, your face card is good, bro, for you to do a lot of different things. I know he ended up going to college and stuff like that, but I feel like at this age right now, because I think Marquise is, 25 years old now. The thing with Marquise, I feel like he's crying for 50 Cent's, attention. I think, although he may not say it, I think he might have realized the fact that his mom was really the reason why all this shit never worked out the way it should have. Even if they were never gonna be together to raise him, but he kind of understands now that his mother's really at fault for all of this. Maybe all the stuff that she told them, because that's the only thing he could go by. Because 50 Cent wasn't really in his life like that from the time he was 8 years old, or 9 or 7 years old. So I think he finally realized that, but he haven't accepted it, or he's not gonna go to public with that because it's gonna make his mom look bad. But I could definitely understand where 50 Cent comes from. I would never want to neglect like a child of mine, but it's probably so much that's happened that he probably like good with it. You know what I'm saying? He a grown ass man now, so.
50, you love your son? I used to.
Damn.
You ask yourself how long, a complicated question would say, how long can you love something that don't love you back?
You can hear the pain and disappointment in 50's voice. Although Marquise is going viral for being ungrateful, it seems like what he truly wishes is to have a relationship with his father. Marquise wanted his dad to be there for him emotionally. He claims he doesn't care about the money. It doesn't make up for the missed birthdays, not going to graduation, never visiting. Of course 50 is super famous and extremely busy, but you can understand why the boy would feel the way he does. It just ruins his argument when he starts talking about money. Parents show love in different ways. Some fathers provide more financial support than emotional support. Some people think that mothers are supposed to be the emotional support for the child. All parents raise their kids differently. There's not one right way to do it. The most toxic part about this whole situation is that instead of talking to each other, they air out their differences on Instagram Live, radio interviews, and through TMZ. 50 is known for being petty, trolling, sarcasm.
I seen this
Marquise
video, he
is the same
violated.
way. They are making light of serious situations for the public to have a laugh, or for some Instagram likes. One thing we know for sure is that the only way this will ever get solved is if 50 and Marquise finally decide to sit down and talk everything out, privately, off of social media.
No, I believe that too. But alright, y'all, this is the end of the video right here. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think about this whole situation. I mean, I could honestly see both sides of it. You know, like on 50 Cent's side, there's probably a lot of stuff that he's done, you know, taking pictures with people he's not supposed to have been taking pictures with. Y'all remember even the situation where he took a picture with what is it, the dude from Slow Bucks. I don't know which one is it. I think it's Slow, I think it is. And then he ended up getting beat up in what, damn, what's this show? It wasn't Rolling Loud, the Hot 97 show. Summer Jam. I think he ended up getting beat up in Summer Jam. I think they took his chain and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff that been going on behind the scenes. But man, as a father, I know it's probably a lot of shit that his BM put him through. But man, you gotta try to be there at least for all the missed years. Just try to be in his life, even if it ain't got nothing to do with no money. Just have it, because you know, it's good to just have a relationship with your son. I'm pretty sure if they do have a conversation, they sit down one-on-one, there's a lot of things that his son is gonna find out that he didn't know throughout the years. That's probably gonna just change his, you know, his perspective on it and understand where 50 Cent comes from. But y'all let me know in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and I'm off this. Oh!